I don't know. I don't know if you get a second chance.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll find out.
Motherfuckers.
I know,
Should we
right?
leave the table?
No, we're gonna like leave. It's ceremonially now empty. So
ceremonially empty. We should. Oh God.
What?
I want to put a piece of paper up with a smiley face right here.
We're rolling, but you could. I
mean, we're rolling, so we might as well just...
You got paper.
I don't want to. Okay, I don't want to do it now if I have to do it. And that's how America works, kids.
Or just his life.
Totally true.
Welcome to the Distracted Gaming Podcast!
Yes! Distracted Gaming time! Wow, she's randy today.
Whoa, getting in the views, baby!
Yeah.
Let's just rip the upper part of this a little bit.
No, that's a very expensive shirt.
It was very
You need to move this way, girl. You're all like half out of the frame. I don't know what you're
well,
thinking.
That's what I wanted to
right there.
Look at that. I just did some technical directing. It looks great now.
Technically, you were direct. All right, draw 10 cards.
Sweet. What are we playing today, Mike?
Today we're playing Phase 10. A game we play a lot because it's very easy to do and you don't have to fucking think about it by and large.
Good point.
No, he teach you how to play at the right time the first time, so I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm stupid. This week on the podcast we have Chad!
I'm always here. I'm always here.
He's going to cry about it later.
Here.
I got weird.
I did get a little weird.
Over here, not Toadette, but in fact, Andrea!
Yeah, Andrea's here!
Again.
She's going to cry about that later.
It's mid-August and she's wearing a knit cap.
Well, you know, things get warm in mid-August.
Yeah. And warmer when you're wearing a knit cap.
I totally get it now. Sorry.
But I had to be Toadette today.
Toadette. And my name is Chris Pratt.
You wish.
You're not fooling anyone.
Did you get my dick message?
Oh, yeah. We got a lot.
If you're unaware,
Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy came out last week, and we fucking saw that movie! It's so good!
And it was awesome.
What's the movie?
Shut up, you like it too. You played hooky from work to go...
Here's the thing, people. I don't care. This is going to be a spoiler episode, okay? Just deal with that shit right now. That movie has been out. When this episode airs, it will have been out for a full 2 weekends, plus that week in between. So if you haven't seen it yet, it's your own fucking fault.
And a lot of people went to the fucking movie, okay?
That's what I'm talking about.
You're going out of your way to be that asshole at this point.
Exactly.
So...
Or they already were that asshole. Did you think about that?
Yeah, they were that asshole.
You're that asshole. You're a tight sphincter. I hope you clean well.
Sphincter tightness.
2 sets of 3 to start with?
2 sets of 3 to start with.
It's like 3 4s or 3 5s, something like that. Anyway, so...
They can be different colors, though.
Guardians of the Galaxy set a few records this past weekend. Over the course of the weekend, they made $94 million US. That is the most of an August movie ever.
And most wet panties by Beyonce.
Wow!
It's coming out swinging today. It made 66.4 million internationally.
Yes.
So rounding out right about $160 million opening weekend. It's pretty good.
That ain't bad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that ain't bad. That's...
Another record it broke was Monday. The most money ever made by a movie in August on a Monday. 11 million US.
I love that they keep track of stuff like that.
Yeah.
They say, like, how much did other movies make on a Monday? Well, nobody as much as this.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they probably just have to push one button.
True enough.
But
exactly.
the one that I thought was really interesting, the record that they broke, was ticket sales in an interesting way. 44% of all tickets sold were to women.
Well, yeah.
Pre-sale, you said.
Pre-sale tickets. Pre-sale
tickets to the ladies.
Yes.
Interesting.
That's why I said
they
my
actually
earlier
beat
comment.
the
Makes sense,
previous
right?
movie by 4%.
And what was the previous movie? Do we know?
I think it was another Marvel movie.
Really?
Off the top of my head, yeah.
From the ladies?
That's
awesome.
Looks like they're into the comic book movies, man.
They are pretty exciting. They have, eye candy to look at.
Good point.
They do have eye
Good
candy,
point.
but it's also just there's generally a romance of some sort.
True.
There's explosions and fighting and stuff, and that's appealing to whomever. It
to
doesn't
people
really
that
matter.
like explosions and stuff.
And
you know.
superheroes, man. Who doesn't like a
Right,
superhero
exactly.
movie?
And this one had like a cute little raccoon. I mean,
And a cute little tree that
yeah,
was like
right.
not really
well,
little.
it wasn't little, true, but yeah. I mean,
He's little at the end.
I gotta say too that you. No, going into that movie knowing that Bradley Cooper was the voice of Rocket.
He didn't sound like him at all.
He didn't sound like himself. There were a few moments where like, oh yeah, okay, that's Bradley Cooper. But for the most part,
I didn't know. Yeah, you can't tell.
yeah,
He
you
did a
can't
great
tell.
job.
You got to wonder if they modulated or changed or something.
No, I
that's
think
gotta
he just did the voice.
And if he did, that shit is awesome. Well done, sir.
It was probably a
He
few
goes
tweaks in
hardcore for
Yeah,
movies,
yeah.
though. I've heard he's one of those guys who will really get into it. Like for especially if it's a movie he's into. Like for the A-Team, apparently he had like 1.4 second reload on his M16, like in training and stuff. And it's the fastest reload on screen for any movie ever.
That's called training people.
Yeah, like he
And then-
really went deep on
That
learning
And for
these
Silver
things.
Linings Playbook, he really became bipolar.
He really had sex with Jennifer Lawrence.
That too.
Who hasn't?
Got it.
I mean, honestly,
The microphone, you really got to.
I have no idea. I'm not. I think Jennifer Lawrence is awesome. I'm just made a joke there. Please don't write to me. Please don't.
The
email
internet's
and-
going to yell at you.
Oh shit.
Why don't you yell at Hermione Granger for a second too? So they're all just murder you. What's your real name again?
I don't know.
Emma Watson?
She's
Emma
such a-
Watson. Emma
It's
Watson.
just always
I
be
don't even
Hermione
watch
to me.
that, and I knew that. What the fuck?
Or what the fuck?
No.
You are a pop culture reader, watcher,
She
thingy
is
person.
Big into the Wikipedia.
There you go. There you go.
Wikipedia, yeah.
And if like a person pops up on a thing, she immediately Wikipedias them and everyone they've ever known.
Like Chris Pratt married to Anna Faris, who...
Who'd have thought that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't actually know
I had
that.
no
That's
idea.
kind of crazy.
I had no idea.
They're
I had no
pretty. They're both
Yeah,
pretty.
yeah. He's just
And they're funny.
goofy. He's,
So
yeah.
that makes sense.
It does. You make a
They've
good
been married
point.
since 2009. They have a baby.
Bubba?
Baby.
Anna Faris Bubba?
They
Were
have a
they-
baby boy.
Were they famous in 2009? I don't remember.
Anna Faris has been
She
famous.
was,
Wasn't she
yeah.
on Mad TV?
She was on something. I forget.
Anna Faris? She was
Yeah.
in the scary movies.
Isn't
yeah.
she? Wasn't she the house bunny?
She did the House Bunny
House
movie
Bunny.
by then, but does that really count as famous? I mean,
Well, for some people, you know.
I guess.
I can picture her
possible.
face in my head.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
guess that's good enough, isn't it? So there you go.
And the internet is absolutely falling in love with Chris Pratt right now, by the way.
I can totally see why.
Did you see the video of him rapping to Forgot About Dre, doing Eminem's line?
No.
He did like the whole, Eminem's whole part to Forgot About Dre on beat.
I have no doubt.
Somebody
So,
from Reddit actually synced in the
Oh
beat
my God.
for it, and it's just him doing the whole
Well,
thing.
what I didn't realize was that he's the voice of the main guy in the Lego movie.
Yeah.
No shit, really?
Emmett.
Yeah.
He's Emmett
All
from
right.
the Lego movie.
All right.
He's having a good couple years.
He's doing well.
Did you see that movie?
I have not actually seen it yet, no.
Lego
I will.
movie was good.
It-
I will, and yep, everybody said so. I will see it.
Lego movie was good.
Yeah. I just got around to watching Gravity, so
I
it takes me a
honestly
while.
feel like he's the next one we're going to elevate to super A-list status. You know, because we're losing our Brad Pitts
Yeah,
and our
yeah.
George Clooney's are getting older.
I would say if he treats this right and doesn't do really crazy weird shit.
Well, he's hitting like the
Then-
Jennifer Lawrence adorable weird.
Right. And as long as that
Area.
adorable weird doesn't turn into fucking creepy insane, I think we're good.
He just seems like a normal human being,
Yeah.
like
That's
funny and normal.
Right now, absolutely. I totally agree with you right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying he still has a chance to fall off the face of the earth if he fucks this up.
Yeah. Don't fuck this up, man. We like you.
Yeah.
Don't fuck this up.
There you go. I'm sure he's watching right now.
You got ripped as shit for that movie, by the way. You and Batista just pecks all over the place.
Whoa.
I actually thought
Whoa.
Batista for being like a wrestler, I thought he did a decent job
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, he wasn't horrible. He did a
Yeah,
nice
you know
job.
what I mean? I didn't expect a whole lot from him, and I actually thought he was interesting in most of the things he was doing.
Yeah.
He was definitely the weakest part of the five of them, I would say.
I'd agree.
But that's like severely nitpicking.
Right. I mean, you consider the kind of character that he had to portray. I mean,
Very
it wasn't
straight line.
Yeah, it wasn't probably a big stretch as an actor. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the dude. I mean, I don't hang out with him, so he might be the,
I'm going to say that this is going to be very good for everybody involved. I think a lot of
absolutely.
people are going to get a lot of jobs, especially those five. Well, maybe not Vin Diesel, but The three live action ones, Zoe Saldana, Chris Pratt, and Batista. I think this is one of those movies that's huge enough that, and every character is a star. It's not just about.
So this might get Vin Diesel into voice acting.
He was already in voice acting.
More so.
He did the Iron Giant.
But no one
Really?
watched
He was the
that.
Iron Giant.
No one watched
No,
that.
he was the Iron Giant. That's how we got this role.
Well, the people at this table watched it because we're
Because the Iron Giant's awesome.
we're geeky, weird, crazy
We're
people like
Greeky.
that. Greeky. That's
Sort
what
of
I just said.
What?
I gotta look something up here real quick. You guys talk
What
amongst
are you
yourself.
what are you looking at me for? I'm gonna start. I'm gonna go first. I don't care.
Okay, talk amongst yourself. I gotta focus something up.
Boop, boop, be-do-do-do, boop, be-do-do-do, do-do-do-do.
Yep, there you go. You type in Zoe, the second choice
It's Saldana.
is Saldana.
What's the first one? Deschanel?
Deschanel, probably.
Yeah.
But
Honestly, I didn't even
she's-
bother looking. I just went.
But
with it.
she's super famous too.
Yeah, that's true.
That New Girl's done
In
okay for her.
that weird sort of in that weird indie crazy sort of way. She's
If you can pull off adorable sexy,
right. How
you're
hard is
so
that?
in with the internet crowd. There's something about that they just don't let go.
Yep.
It's annoying.
Now
I know you're so popular.
I know.
I know that the crowd
You said
that's watching.
sexy, adorable,
I'm sorry.
too.
Go ahead.
Is us.
The people. Yeah, there you go. The people listening to this and watching this podcast already, I'm sure, know that Zoe was the Avatar chick.
In Avatar,
Right.
yeah.
Yep.
And she signed up. They're doing
Yeah, I
three
mean,
more or some shit. like that.
there's check this shit out. She's already signed up for the 4 that are there. Okay, right? They don't even have pictures there yet for those movies, but they're there.
I'd be surprised if they were written.
But here's some other things. She was. You may have missed her because she just fell into the role so well. Star Trek,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Uhura.
Or you would just be like,
Another
no, that's
another
Uhura.
one-
That's not Zoe. That's
another
Uhura.
one that was awesome. Colombiana.
That's just what I was going to mention that.
Colombiana?
That is probably my favorite movie that she's in.
That movie's great.
That set her. I think that movie set her up to do as well as she did in Guardians of the Galaxy. And no offense to any of the ladies out there. No offense to you. No offense to any of them. But for a female actor to be able to do those kind of fight scenes the way she did them is difficult.
Yeah.
That shit is hard. That's why oh man, where was my what was the girl the MMA fighter that was in that movie?
Ronda Rousey is in Expendables 3. Gina Carano was in. Haywire.
Haywire, right? That and they brought her in specifically because she could move like that and look hardcore and be awesome. Zoe can do that shit.
Yeah,
She can totally do that shit, and that's impressive.
that's
really cool
that's a
looking.
thing. And we talked about this. We talked about this a little bit last week with Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Once you prove that you can do a real good action movie, they want you for all of them. They'll
right.
push you in every last one.
The Rock.
Yeah, The Rock, for instance.
Yep. There you go.
Apparently, Hercules is terrible.
Does that shock you though?
No.
I mean, really?
But apparently it's not even like about the mythological stuff. It's supposed to be like the guy who could have actually been Hercules. And I'm like, I don't want to watch that movie.
Yeah. Did he lift a cow every day when he was a kid? And the cow grew as he grew. And
Big John Henry.
is it my turn?
That's John Henry, right?
No.
The American
Big Bad
Fable.
John.
It's not John
Black dude.
Henry. Oh, no. Okay, I was thinking of...
I take this one.
I don't remember. All right, let's move on to the next one. That was cool. Guardians of the Galaxy. If you haven't seen it yet, then you should go see it. If you've already seen it, you should probably see it again because who are we
and
joking?
you should totally skip
It was really good. I wasn't a fan of the source material, meaning I haven't read much of that. But it was awesome. It just sucks you right in and just keeps you there. So,
yeah.
So go to it. It's a good time.
Some of the
Totally
lines
fun.
seemed forced, but they immediately cut it in a unique and interesting way. Nicole, the writers, James Gunn and Nicole Silverstone.
That'll work.
I don't know. You did a masterful job.
Yeah, nicely done.
It was very well written.
I do.
Every time Rocket opened his mouth was just the best thing.
There was a touch of Whedon there.
That's Whedon.
And I think, and why shouldn't there be? I think that he's been sort of given that role as sort of a mentor through that Marvel universe. So absolutely. So
All right, we're gonna move on.
We could keep talking about this. We could just keep going.
Right,
we could keep going.
Is this me?
Yes.
This is me?
Yes.
Yeah, that's you.
We're gonna move on. Ghostbusters. The sequel the sequel and script that's been floating around since 2011.
Really?
It's people are weary of it now because Reitman died.
Yeah, well, that certainly
Ivan
would
Reitman died.
That makes things difficult.
And he was supposed to direct it. Mm-hmm. He was supposed to take over the role. He was supposed to head the helm again, however we want to say it.
Whatever you want to tell it. Yep.
So they're kind of shopping around and seeing who could do it. A name that's come up that looks feasible and actually seems like might be a legitimate thing. Paul Feig. You know who Paul Feig is?
Yes.
Bigger actor than most things, but he's shifted into the producing, writing, directing side. He wrote and directed Bridesmaids. Was his biggest hit so far.
Oh, okay. All right. I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
He
was different.
Apparently a rumor got around that maybe he'd be interested in it. And another rumor started to get around that he apparently is talking about maybe doing an all-female version of Ghostbusters. And there's no talk whether this would be a reboot, a sequel, whatever the fuck. I would assume a sequel.
I would do it as a sequel. I wouldn't reboot it.
You can put in some of the original guys.
Absolutely. You could bring them in. You could have a training montage.
Bill Murray is absolutely never going to do that fucking movie, by the way.
No, he's not. No.
Which sucks. But
so if you got Bill Murray gone and you got Egon gone, I mean, you still
got Winston. You still got Winston, and you still got
that guy.
Shit.
And like
Dan Aykroyd.
It's like what's
Aykroyd's
character? What was that Aykroyd's character's name? We have no idea.
Venkman.
He was just
that's not Venkman.
Venkman
is Bill Murray.
Is Bill Murray. Ray something.
Ray Stans.
Is that it?
Is that it?
That sounds pretty close. Internet, you decide.
They just call him Ray.
They call him Ray a bunch, but
yeah.
Anyway, but still, with those two characters, that's not enough to do a true sequel. You can't recast those roles. That's impossibly
you could do one
stupid.
of them in like a cameo, we own the business sort of sense. Like they're majority shareholders.
They could be there, but they can't be like you always wanted this one. What you want to happen to the Star Wars films? They can't be the main characters.
They cannot be the main characters. They cannot be the main characters.
No,
they're too old. They can't do it anymore.
If Murray would have signed up, or if Egon would still been alive, they could have made it happen.
I assume they're just gonna totally fuck this up and make Egon a ghost. Because they did the whole Tupac hologram thing. How are they not going to do the Egon ghost?
I just assumed they do Ghostbusters 3 to search for Casper.
Fuck that motherfucker, by the way. Friendly ghost, my ass! Yeah. Would you be interested?
Point of order. Can we lay down after we've drawn, or do we have to wait till the next turn?
You have to lay down.
No, he's talking about if
I've got my two sets of three.
No, that's when you would do it.
Yeah,
you have to draw first.
Yeah, draw first, and then...
Now you got to discard.
And now I got to discard. Okay.
All right.
There you go. Sorry, point of order.
No, point of order.
Anyways.
We could do Roger the Rabbit Ghostbusters crossover.
Whoa. You're just full of ideas. Write this shit down.
Why was there never a Roger the Rabbit talk? Like, Roger Rabbit talk about it. All the sequel and the reboot shit. Why has Roger Rabbit never come back?
Because in the 80s, that shit was hard. It'd be so much easier to do now, too.
I know! That's what I'm saying! Why haven't they just done that?
Man. It could have something to do... I remember, and maybe this was just like a... What?
You gotta draw and go.
I'm just letting you
go.
Okay. You don't have to go. I'm just letting you know.
Oh, you just let me know? Okay, let me finish my thought. Because the internet wasn't around back then, but there was a story that was going around that was like Disney forgot to actually get a copyright on the character of Roger the Rabbit.
Really?
That was the story I heard. I don't know if that's true. We could check the internet, but I don't care that much.
I said it. It's true. Fuck yourself.
Exactly. I've made it a thing. I've made it a real thing now because I put it out on the World Wide Web.
How history is written and most religions.
And if that's the case, if they never fully had control of the character, why would you do a sequel? Why hasn't anybody talked about it now? You could totally bring that back. It's a cartoon. Fuck.
I loved that movie back in the day.
Back in the day. You watch it now, it almost holds up.
I still think it's fine. I still think it's fine.
There's moments you're like,
there's some shit that does not hold up. The original Ninja Turtles movies. Don't do that, by the way. Especially, like, the first one, you can kind of get there. The second one, holy fucking shit, that movie's just garbage. And then the third one, where they go back in time to ancient Japan. Because time travel. Did you see me have a stroke there? Because I did.
Yeah. Actually, so there was a moment you lost a little,
He has
piece
about
of the
5.
world.
No, but would you see an all-female cast of Ghostbusters? Would you see if it was a reboot? Like Venkman?
I would not. I don't think I would be interested if they rebooted it with ladies in those characters. And again, it's not because they're ladies. It's because there's no need to do that.
Yeah.
It just doesn't.
We don't need to have
And that's my exact argument for that as well. If you want to do an all-female cast, you should do it as a sequel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
you should.
then you can make standalone characters that are not compared to the previous set.
Exactly.
You could just say, oh, this is another Ghostbusters movie. The other guys are old. Let's be fair.
Yep.
They're fucking old.
Yep.
I want Rick Moranis to be in it still.
He needs that. That's a good
Plus
point.
boobs.
Yeah, but he directed
boobs.
Bridesmaids. Would you
Plus boobs.
Would you see like a Bridesmaids female SNL sort of cast version?
Oh my god!
Because that's what
That
he
would
did with
kind of have to.
Bridesmaids.
That would kind of have to be.
That's what
It's
he did
totally
with
true.
Bridesmaids.
It's totally true. I think that's. I would do that if I wanted to see this movie. It would be that movie.
I think it's your.
Well, the first one was pretty much an SNL cast.
I did something.
You draw and then you discard.
Didn't I just do that, or did
Okay.
you go already?
Yeah, we
No,
all.
that's your two?
Yeah, that's my two.
Oh, okay. Then I gotta go again.
Okay. Next one. We'll move on. Big Bang Money. Big Bang Theory just got signed up for 3 more seasons. They've already done like 7
7, yeah,
or some
I
bullshit. I don't know who watches this show. Do you watch it, Big Bang Theory?
I do not watch.
I don't watch Big Bang Theory. Do you watch Big Bang
I've
Theory?
seen a few episodes, but
I don't know people who watch Big Bang Theory, but apparently a lot of people do because they average a 21 share. 21 million people watch new episodes of The Big Bang Theory.
Well, I think you're just counting the tween demographic.
I don't know if that counts. I honestly think it's it's like parents. I think it's mostly parents. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Considering DVR numbers now do count. They do count. I think it's mostly that group. But it's a lot of fucking people. That's a very successful show. 21 million a week?
Yeah.
Fucking A.
I don't know anybody who actually watches it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The 3 main people, this is what I'm going to get to. Jim Parsons, Johnny Galecki, and Kaylee Cuoco just signed a deal to get $1 million an episode.
Okay.
You're just so unfazed by it.
No.
That's Friends money.
I know. That's exactly what I was going to say. That's Friends money, and that's Friends numbers.
That is Friends numbers.
It's Friends numbers, man.
That's going to average to right about $72 million over the next 3 seasons per person.
Wow. How many seasons has it been on?
7.
It has been on for 7 seasons. They absolutely, at that success, at those numbers still holding, they absolutely deserve this money, in my opinion.
Wow, has it been on that long?
Yeah.
How could there? What do they do for a living now? I mean, they're not in college anymore after 7 years.
No, well, they were
What
always
is it?
instructors. They were always instructors at the school.
So they were like when it started, they were teachers' aides and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
something like
And now
that.
they've grown into their own.
I think
my
it's the same thing, 'cause
professorship.
I think they work at MIT. So I think it's just they're...
Oh, okay, there you go.
So it's just they're always research people.
Gotcha.
They're
All right.
doctors and research people. That's what they
And
do.
you said this before, but apparently Jim Parsons just plays Jim Parsons.
Yeah, Jim Parsons, Sheldon in the show. Sheldon, if you don't know, is just kind of an elevated version of who he is naturally. Minus gay.
Alrighty then. I know more about that show than I ever needed to.
Yeah, to compare, here are the only other shows that the actors have ever made more money than them.
Okay, more
Tied
money.
with them at number 5. Fifth most, they are 5th most paid.
William
any show.
Shatner
No, tied
for
with,
T.J. Hooker.
God no. They tied with them at number 5. Friends. The entire six actors on Friends got $1 million an episode.
A lot of money.
Absolutely deserved it. The show was on for fucking ever.
Ever. Yeah, right.
Next up, in number 4 slot, Tim Allen for Home Improvement.
Okay.
He was making $1.25 million an episode.
And I very rarely watched that show, but I know a lot of people who did.
I did, but I was like 13 maybe, or like I was not old when that show was on. Kelsey, here's the one that surprised me. Kelsey Grammer for Frasier.
That again was one of those shows that was uber popular, and I knew people who watched that one. I just didn't.
1.6 mil an episode for Kelsey Grammer.
Holy shit!
That's a lot.
Oh my god!
That's why you don't see him in much shit anymore. Because he doesn't have to be in fucking dick.
He doesn't have to work. He just
snokes coke off of hookers' assholes every fucking day. Next up, Ray Romano for Everybody Loves Raymond.
Again, yeah, it was a big show.
Huge
show.
1.7 million an episode.
He still works, though.
He still works.
It's because he enjoys what he does.
Yeah,
he really enjoys what he does.
When you see these people still working, most of the cast of the Friends, actually the entire cast of Friends still works. And they're still working because they fucking want to. They don't have to anymore.
Right. Or the hookers.
Yeah.
You can run through some money.
And then number 1 slot, a guess with the number 1 slot is. I want to hear your guesses. The most paid actor for a television show per episode ever.
Oh, I think you told me.
I'm going to go with...
Okay.
Let's get you out.
I'm going to go with... man, what's that guy's name? Oh, shit. I didn't watch that show either very often. Everybody loved that movie. Everybody loved the show, too. The one where he was like a guy and nothing ever happened, but he had friends and lived in his apartment.
Seinfeld?
I'm going to go with Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Is that what you're betting?
I'm betting Jerry Seinfeld for Seinfeld.
Nope.
It's Charlie Sheen for 2.5 Men.
What?
In 2010...
That seems wrong.
In 2010, when he left the show, he was making $1.8 million an episode.
And there you go. I mean, how long was he making that before he finally lost it?
I think it was like a year or two is all.
So, still, 2 years I would
assume he was up over $1 million for more than just those 2 years, though. So. If you don't just dramatically jump to 1.8.
Exactly. And so, yeah, I mean, he had enough money he could afford to go completely insane. So,
which good, because he has.
Have either of you guys seen that new show he's on, the anger management show?
No.
I haven't bothered either.
I have not.
I didn't.
So many of these sitcoms, you can almost tell from the pre-trailers that maybe they'll make a season.
Right.
Maybe they'll have 2 seasons, but they're not going to survive.
It's just like horrible.
And I would assume that's the same thing with this.
Of course, that's what I thought of 2.5 Men when it came out, so what do I know?
And it's been on for years, minus his existence, which I thought he was the only fucking reason for that show. And fucking Ashton Kutcher has just strolls in
with his
taken over the show.
Kutcherness and just was like, hey, I'm here.
Hey, my Kutch. This bitch.
Well, he's like, I have Mila Kunis. I don't care anymore.
Yeah. I hate you, Ashton.
And he's like, what is he a spokesman for? Kodak or Nikon? I don't even
Nikon.
Nikon.
There you go.
She's the spokesman for Jim Beam right now. That'd be a fucking sweet one. Right?
What?
Yeah, it's like a whole commercial where she like brands her name on a whole barrel and she's like, in 4 years I'm coming back for this one.
Whoa.
Like Prego Mila Kunis?
No.
Because that would be awkward.
Well, they probably shot this thing, considering Hollywood, they probably shot the fucking thing like a year ago.
Probably.
That would be
wow,
funny,
she's doing like, that would be hilarious. That actually would be.
Jim Beam's kind of a big get, it seems like to me. Any alcohol get seems like a big get.
Yeah, I would much rather see that commercial with her pregnant, though. That would be hilarious.
And smoking the entire time.
And then someone comes over and pokes her belly, and then it just explodes. She flies away.
Ew.
But yeah, Big Bang money, making all the money.
Holy shit.
I do have an interesting thing about Seinfeld money from Seinfeld.
Okay.
Jerry Seinfeld and the guy who wrote it.
Yes. What's his name? It's right there in my head. Yeah, go on. Oh, yeah. The internet will figure it out.
Since the show, have each made over $400 million in restitutions from the show because they co-created it.
Oh, from the like syndication and
from
shit
syndication.
Like that? Okay, gotcha.
Over $400 million for that show.
Nice.
Yeah, so they didn't make it. Maybe they didn't perhaps make it quite unquote while it was
the
on.
show was on, but yeah.
Well, and another reason that the Big Bang Theory guys are getting it now, they did make syndication as of 2 years ago. I think.
Yep.
I think you have to make 5 seasons. Isn't that what the rule is? If you're an ongoing show,
I don't know if there's a rule per se.
I actually think there is a rule because ongoing shows and syndication garners more money. True. I actually think there is a rule as to how much you can show this show. And it has to be on a certain amount of time. I legitimately think there's a law for this.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. All right.
Okay.
I'll go with that.
Okay, we're going to move on to the awesome fucking science thing of this week.
Awesome science thing of the week.
You put down a 7?
Yeah, I did.
Are you out of your fucking... Dude, you could just play this on this. Put down a different card.
I'm just waiting for you guys to get done. I mean, right now, it's like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but can you lay down any more?
Yeah, I can lay down whatever you want. You want to lay down that one?
Yeah, okay, then lay down that. Well, you have to go down to 0 cards. That's how you end it.
Oh, okay. I got to go down to 0 cards. All right.
Now you can put a 7 or a 9 down, is what he's saying.
I see what's going on.
Yeah, and you can play onto the things.
Now who cares about the game?
No, I'm just saying the point of the thing is to...
Oh, that's right. You can lay on other people's things.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. All right.
It doesn't matter.
There's something called the Impossible Engine.
The Impossible Engine.
NASA's calling it the Kenai engine.
I mean, we're done.
Okay, cool. You go. I did the first one. NASA's calling it the Kenai engine. It started as a theory from a British scientist by the name of Roger Sawyer. It was a few years ago.
Okay.
Not that long ago, but a few years ago. I don't know the exact date.
Okay.
But it was basically you shoot microwaves into a cylinder of sorts, and it reflects in a way that it creates momentum. It's a propellantless engine.
Gotcha.
But everyone said it's bullshit because it spits in the face of the law of conservation. Energy cannot be created, and this actually would technically be considered a perpetual motion machine.
Right.
Because once the microwave particles enter the engine, it never has to stop. As long as nothing breaks, it never has to stop.
Right.
And perpetual motion machines cannot happen. They cannot happen. Well, we built one. NASA, a team of NASA scientists, have officially built this engine.
They laugh in the face of physics.
It's a microwave thruster, no propellant required. That means no fuel, no heavy fuel required to make it work. The first people to actually build it was a team in China in 2012, but nobody believed them in scientific community because they refused to show any findings or what they did or the machine itself. It's China; they're not going to fucking tell you.
Yeah, that's okay.
They're just 2 years ahead of us, apparently.
Right.
Well, NASA built it, and it has propulsion. Here's the best quote I've ever seen in my fucking life. Test results indicate that the RF resonant cavity thruster design, which is unique as an electric propulsion device, is producing a force that is not demonstrating any interaction with the quantum vacuum vertical plasma. That means, in layman's speak, it works. We don't know how.
Magic.
Flatulence.
It's awesome. We created a propellant engine. First off, doesn't require... This is deep space engine technology.
Yes.
Can go forever as long as it doesn't break, and it'll just keep fucking going.
Does the speed continue to build?
Speed does not continue to build.
Okay.
Speed is set.
So it becomes...
the one that the Chinese built supposedly was able to put out... it was like 50... Or no, like 100 newtons of force. Or macro newtons of force, and we were only able to do 30 to 50 micro newtons of force, which actually isn't enough for usable.
Yeah, not yet.
But they did say in the report that it's absolutely buildable. That it can be built upon. The design can be improved.
Of course.
They truly believe it can be fixed.
Wow. How does this relate to the ion drive? The ion engine from sci-fi lore.
It does not.
There you go.
Here's how it relates.
Okay.
It's not nuclear.
Okay.
This it maybe use microwaves, but it's a lighter weight engine, and it's not going to require this giant nuclear reactor.
But I'm wondering how scaled down they can make a design that could give you enough thrust to be useful.
It's gonna have to. As far
It's
as
still
I can
going to
tell,
be pretty fucking.
it's going to be fucking big.
mean,
But the fact that the ship you're carrying doesn't have to haul fuel has a lot to do with it. It has a lot to do.
so something has to generate those microwaves in the beginning, but
Yes,
once they're out there,
just
it's like so they'll have like a little launcher that'll start it up. You know, like those old toys.
It'll have a propellant generator that will start the process once it gets to a post gravity space, and at that point it will be self sufficient. As far as I can tell, that's what it would be used for.
Of course, just in case something happened, they would want something that could continue to generate microwave energy, like, to heat their cocoa and shit.
Probably
and
still
then,
be a nuclear engine.
There'd probably be something around there that would do that shit. But still, pretty fascinating. Pretty fascinating.
It's just the next in long line of shit we've talked about in cool shit.
It's
I really
going to
feel
take us to other planets, people. That's what we're talking about.
I really feel like there's going to be legitimate space travel in our lifetimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally can see that.
That because last week was the leaf thing that sort of solves the oxygen.
Yeah.
We've proven before that we can grow crops in space.
Yeah.
Now we have a non-propellant engine that would work.
Yep.
That's a lot of the big pieces solved.
Right. Totally true. Totally true. Very true.
If not solved, at least started to solve in a big way. It's cool.
It's cool.
It's fucking cool.
It is fucking cool. I'll give you the cool factor.
Is it mine?
No, that's Chad's.
Chad, go!
No. Okay.
One last piece of news.
Okay.
Deadpool test footage.
Yes. That was going to be my
Indie pick?
but even though it's not actually indie, but that shit was pretty fucking awesome. Have you people seen this yet? Go out and Google it and watch it. Okay, we'll just wait for you. Right?
Yeah!
Right?
It was made originally in 2012 as a test footage of what the Deadpool movie would sort of be like. Did you see this over the course of the week? It was all over the fucking place.
Yeah, it was all over the place.
Just stop punching the microphone, Jesus.
Back talking.
No, but it's in Ryan Reynolds' voice as Deadpool. He actually there's pictures of him doing the mocap for the scenes.
Nice,
He was in a full mocap suit. This was actually him doing test footage for what the movie would be like, would be about, what the writing would be like.
Very cool.
Just, that's what it was. The producer, writer, put in charge is a guy by the name of Rhett Reese. Rhett Reese, as of today,
Rhett Reese.
This day, we shoot on Thursday, so the 7th of August, yes?
Okay.
The 7th of August, tweeted out a thing that said, retweet this, if we get enough people, it'll show the backing companies that they're. It basically said retweet if you would buy a ticket for a Deadpool movie. That's basically what it said, so that we can show that there's enough money here.
Yep.
And that's a fucking fantastic idea on his part, by the way.
That's that's better than signing a petition, for fuck's sake. That's just a great idea.
Yeah, and you can show some out of touch fucking executive. Twitter said.
Yep.
But the
Twitter. Who's this Twitter?
If you don't know who Rhett Reese is, he wrote and directed Zombieland 1 and 2. The first one, and he's also doing the second one. And he did G.I. Joe Retaliation. The second G.I. Joe movie. So, some experience in sort of witty, campy action. Which Deadpool is as far as witty, campy as you can get.
She doesn't care right now. She doesn't care at all. So she's just gonna play with her hat.
You messed up my hair.
All right. The first Zombieland. I would say the first 40 minutes of that movie is pretty awesome. I actually watched that second G.I. Joe movie. Yeah, it wasn't very good.
I did too. It wasn't very good. It wasn't very good. But it's cool that somebody legitimately attached to the movie.
True.
Here's my question to you: do you think that was the footage was actually leaked in any way?
No,
bullshit. I call bullshit.
Yeah, I totally call bullshit on that. Was strategic. in all way, shapes, and
Do
forms.
you think it was the production company that would be the money behind it, putting that out, going, all right, can we build enough of a buzz? Do you think they've already started on the movie and are just trying to move the hype train?
That feels like a hype train move to me. I could be wrong, but I'm kind of jaded. So what do I know? What are we doing down here?
No, nothing. All right. Yeah, it felt like a hype train to me. It felt like maybe they had already started rolling on this thing, and this sort of re-energizes that thought in my mind that the writer-producer would just go ahead and tweet this out and try to get see how many people he can get behind it. I, of course, retweeted it. I want to see that fucking movie. I've wanted to see that fucking movie for a while.
And you would think at this point with this, I think with the success of Guardians because Guardians was not A-list material.
But Deadpool's not owned by Marvel. Their rights are owned by Sony Fox.
Yeah, you're right, because it's part of that.
It's a mutant
series,
which fucking sucks. Because Deadpool spends actually a lot more time with Avengers than he does with mutants. Him and Spidey are like this. The Spider-Man fucking...
Oh my god.
Deadpool crossover. First off, you couldn't probably show that. The Deadpool movie, if it's not rated R, should not exist, by the way.
Yeah, I'd give you that too.
He is awful. If you ever want to get into a character that's just sort of fun and funny and out there, get into Deadpool comics because he is so self-aware and so meta and so self-referential and funny, just flat funny.
Yep. And he was that before that shit was cool.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I'd see that movie.
Absolutely would.
What are we talking about?
All right, let's move on to the indie
Andrea
picks.
does not care.
Let's move on to the indie picks for the week.
That was my indie pick, so here's some information about it.
Deadpool.
All right, let's move on.
Deadpool. All right, I have two indie picks, actually.
Okay, go.
Because it's sort of big. One is Weird Al-centric, and I think you know what I'm talking about.
I know where you're going.
There is a petition floating around online to have Weird Al do the Super Bowl halftime show for this year's Super Bowl.
Oh, that would be just...
He hasn't done one yet?
Huh?
You would think he would have, right?
Yeah. Actually, I agree with that sentiment. For all the terrible fucking people that they've gotten to do it, come on. At least he would be entertaining, and that's my argument.
And everybody loved Weird Al.
Everybody
loved Weird Al.
Look at his current album sales.
Yeah, come on. Everybody loved him.
Honestly, I think he's got a real shot at it because of his current album sales.
Maybe he needs to get with Betty White, and they could be the Betty White Weird Al show.
Hey, you broke Chad. Chad.
Betty White cracked my shit up.
Betty White's awesome.
And yes, let's do that. She just rises from the middle of the stage, and busts into she
could kind of rap. I mean, she's 90-something.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
In her, yoga outfit she wears.
Weird Al halftime show. I'm all about it. Halftime shows, by and large, for the Super Bowl fucking suck.
Mostly, yeah.
Suck.
I don't remember a single one that I...
The last good one was Prince a few years ago.
Yeah, I got nothing.
It was good. It was Prince being Prince. They did this whole thing where he put up this big curtain and he used his guitar as a penis very phallically and I'm like, you do you, man. You do you.
It's like it's perfectly acceptable to broadcast Prince's phallic guitar, but we can't see Janet Jackson's nipple.
No.
That just seems wrong to me.
I remember seeing Janet Jackson's nipple live when I was in high school, I think. And my dad turns to me and goes, "Is that a nipple?" I'm like, "I think that's a nipple." And she got big old saucer nipples, too.
I'm not complaining.
How many times just slow it down and rewind on that motherfucker? All right, my next indie pick. So, actually, if you want to sign the petitions at change.org, just go to change.org and just search up Super Bowl Weird Al, and you'll find it. All right. The next one I want to do is from a specific. It's a specific video from a specific YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is youtube.com/rubberninja.
I thought you were going to say rubber nipple.
No, Rubber Ninja. He is an animator. Now he works for Game Grumps, the big show Game Grumps. But he started out as an animator on like Newgrounds, like way back in the day.
Wow.
Flash animation and stuff like that.
Newground, yeah, that's old school.
It's still around, actually.
Is it really?
Weirdly.
Wow. All right.
And he did a video called "Does Independent Animation Have a Future on YouTube?" Look that up. Basically, it's a very educational process. If you're interested in animation, if you're an artist of any sort, you should absolutely look this up. Because he talks about how independent animators cannot make money on YouTube. It does not matter how successful you are, how many subscribers you have, you cannot make money on YouTube. And he's just trying to warn you. It's this, and it's not just you, but YouTube itself. He's trying to garner some change in YouTube for the way that they judge success, so that animators can survive.
Does that mean that animators don't make as much, or don't pull as much of a, I don't even know what they call that, a percentage of that ad revenue as a live action show would with the same viewership?
Here's what the thing was. When YouTube originally started, it was based off views.
Yeah.
The number of views you got is the revenue shared that you got.
Right.
They found out that the reply community, people who weren't really making videos, they were just replying to other videos, like 5 or 6 a day, they were making wild amounts of money as opposed to original content people. So they decided they needed to make a change. The change is viewer retention. So it's based off minutes watched.
Oh.
And the math is you need to come out with at least 10 minutes a day to be survivable as an economic thing on YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. His argument is independent animators, in order for a single person to make 10 minutes, would take a year. Would take so much time. To do a 1 minute, 2 minute animation already takes 2 or 3 months for some of these guys. So for him as well, he's speaking from existence. Totally. And he's just saying, while we do get a lot of views, our retention is never, our numbers, minutes-wise, are never going to be high. You can't, so independent animators cannot survive.
I want to know, 10 minutes is a long fucking time on YouTube.
Yes.
I mean, that's a long time, just even for
I think
live action
technically
stuff.
we cover that. I think technically we cover, considering we have an hour show a week.
Right.
And I put up like a 3 to 4 to 5 minute show a week. I think encapsulated it sort of covers, but it would require almost 100% retention on the podcast.
Right? Exactly. Man.
It's an enlightening thing. Go check it out. It's an enlightening video. You will learn a lot about the business of YouTube. It's about 8-9 minutes long. He'll just teach you something about the business of YouTube.
There you go. That's awesome. Nicely done, sir.
All right, we're going to do the last thing I do like to do every week, and it's this little thing we like to call the I'm a 32.
We did it different again.
We did.
Way up high.
We're going to do it different from now on.
Yep,
that's what we're going to do. We're not doing the same old.
Nope.
Maybe like 2 years from now we'll do. And we'll bring it back. But not till then.
We'll bring it back.
All right.
We think we're funny.
One of my indie picks was the Weird Al show, correct?
Yes, it was.
The halftime show, Weird Al. My hypothetical: if you can go anywhere in time and space and see a live show, what show would that be?
Holy shit.
What is your live show that you would see if you were given a wish to go do it?
Holy shit. Holy shit. That's hard.
And you can make it up if you want.
I'm just kidding, but Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Because anthropomorphic talking chipmunks on stage, is that what we're going with?
No, on ice, man.
Chipmunks can't skate! You guys are fall down!
Oh,
If it was now, you know the answer who would be now.
What?
Who do I want to see live?
What does she want?
Pentatonics. She wants to see Pentatonics live.
All right, dig it. I can totally dig it. Yeah, there you go.
But I don't know, back in time.
Take her to see him live. God.
Yep.
What did you
They don't come around
anywhere
here.
near
Yeah.
here.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
We've looked at the touring schedule.
Okay.
Unless we want to go to, like, New Zealand. Aren't they going to New Zealand?
Yeah, they're doing their international tour right now.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Anyways,
You can go
You
to
know
New Zealand.
Pentatonics, right? Mm-hmm. Also indie big. Pentatonics.
they're not really indie.
They're
but
fucking awesome as hell.
Yeah, they're kind of indie.
They're getting mainstream.
Yeah, it happens. Good stuff usually becomes mainstream at some point.
Yeah.
That's a really hard one. I mean, so because now I have to choose. What are we talking about? I could choose theater. I mean, we could go way back in just spectacle with like Coliseum shit. We could go.
You want to hear mine?
The crucifixion of Jesus.
I want to see.
There you go. That's an event. Holy
Yeah.
shit. That was awesome. That
I
should have
wanna
been yours. That is yours.
Yeah, that's mine.
I want to see. Oh, fuck! She just ran out of my brain.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
The French queen who got her head chopped off for saying,
yes.
give them cake.
Yes.
I had to set up. Son of a bitch!
I'm not going to say what it...
Queen. Look it up on the thing. Here, we'll do this. Here we go. We will use the glorious speaking into Google tool.
Siri Light.
French queen got her head cut off.
It just guys, you didn't get the queen. Slow down.
French queen head cut off.
Oops.
Boobs.
Marie Antoinette.
Marie Antoinette. Thank you.
That's who I thought it was.
Marie
but I didn't want to say
Antoinette.
it and it'd be wrong and be like, racist.
Yeah, right. Then everybody
just
thinks
say
you're
it.
stupid.
Just say
Yeah.
it. It's not racist. They're French.
Everything I
Fucking
say
French.
gets turned into racism. I don't know.
It's just remembering history incorrectly. No, Marie Antoinette. I want to see Marie Antoinette's execution, but Dwayne The Rock Johnson is holding a giant guitar with a razor blade. That's what I want to go see if I had any wish. Because he'd be like, he's doing a guitar solo, he's like, wham!
So
And it's over.
So not Jack Black.
Not Jack Black.
Ooh, that's another good
That is
one.
another good one. That was a pretty good one.
Man, that's
I
so
don't know
hard.
if he can he's kind of, I don't know if he's muscular enough to swing
You don't
it
know that. You don't
in the
know
first
that.
go.
Well,
If it's Jack Black's character from Brutal Legend, the video game, yes. You can absolutely. Do you know Brutal Legend?
no, I don't. But I
It's
can
a video game-
see the video game in my head
It's
with
a
Jack
video
Black.
game he voiced in which his character is a roadie for a rock band.
Oh, nice.
And he
Perfect.
dies and goes to a world in which metal is king. And it's just, like spells. You have to play guitar solos to cast spells. And
That sounds like pretty awesome.
it's a pretty fucking awesome video game.
He's played it like
Hilarious.
twice. Have you 100%?
I own it. Yeah, I have not 100% it. You can 100% it because it says multiplayer achievements, and the multiplayer servers don't exist anymore, so I can't do it. But.
Yep. I would, if we can mix that shit up like that, then
Yeah,
what I want to do is I want to see, Monty Python live at the Hollywood Bowl at the Coliseum. During one of those crazy things where they would flood it with water and they were on ships and they would like have a naval battle.
Yeah!
I want that shit to happen.
Yeah!
Yeah!
All the Pythons get their own ship.
That would be awesome.
And they finally just get to deck it out, man. We're finally solve all this bullshit.
That's
All
right.
their daddy issues.
Bring that shit
Hell
down.
yeah.
That's what I would do.
There we go, guys.
What would you do, Internet? Put it down in the thing.
Please
under
put it in the
thing.
comments. Please put it in
What
the
would
comments.
you do?
Also, sign up for that fucking petition because that's gonna be fucking sweet as hell.
Exactly. Do it.
Bye!
Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Remember, play games, do cool stuff, look up stuff with your friends, play games, have fun!
And when you say you're going to show up and be a guest on our show,
Fucking show up.
fucking show up. Bye! See you later. Miss you so much. Oh, I gotta turn shit off now.
I wasn't gonna call it out. But you decided to call it out.
I called it out. Why not call it out? You know?
You know what? That's a good point. Why not call it out? Fuck that motherfucker. Fuck him right in his face. I'd like you to fuck him with a 10-inch baseball bat over the fucking course of a fucking year. I hope that fucker rots in hell. Fuck, cunt, slut, bitch, fuck that.
Schmegma.